Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to get right into it. I did not finish my reading yesterday, so I'm going to have to buckle down today. But I'm going to go ahead and take you guys with me today. And we'll be starting at 36. And so let me go ahead and pray, and then we'll get right into it. Gracious Father, we thank you for your love and your kindness. We ask that you show us grace and favor today, that you help us to get through today. You give us all the truth that we need. We know that you will not put more on us than we are able to bear. And we love you and we praise you for your awesome name. And we are in awe of you. And and teach us how to serve you and to follow your precepts. In your name, in your son's name, Yahushua, we pray. Amen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. 36. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his woman of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon, the Shaddai, and Oliavma, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Tizion, the Chiorite, and Basma, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nevaioth. And Ada bore to Esau Eliphaz, and Basmath bore Ruel, and Oliabama bore Yeish, and Yaalam, and Korek. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his woman, and his sons, and his daughters, and all the persons of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and all his substance, which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Yaakov. For their riches were more than they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomian, in Mount Seir, so Edomites. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the woman of Esau; Ruel, the son of Basmath, the woman of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Tesipho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore to Eliphaz Amalek. And these are the sons of Ada, Esau's woman. And these are the sons of Ruel, Nashab, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Basmath, Esau's woman. And these were the sons of Oliabama, the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Tizion, Esau's woman. And she bore to Esau Yeish, and Yaalam, and Korah. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau: Duke Taman, Duke Omar, Duke Tesipho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korash, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Ada. And these are the sons of Ruel, Esau's son: Duke Nachab, Duke Zerah, Duke Shammah, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came of Ruel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basmath, Esau's woman. And these are the sons of Oholibama, Esau's woman: Duke Yeish, Duke Yaalam, Duke Korash. These were the dukes that came of Olibama, the daughter of Anna, Esau's woman. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. These are the sons of Seir, the Chorite, who inhabited the land, Lotan, and Shovan, and Tisavan, and Anna, and Dishion, and Etzer, and Dishan. These are the dukes of Chorion, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. And the children of Lotan were Chori and Haman, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. And the children of Shovan are these: Alian, and Manachad, and Ivan, and Shephiah, and Anam. And these are the children of Tisavan: both Aya and Ana. And this was that Ana that found the Yemeni in the wilderness as fed the asses of Tisavan, his father. And the children of Ana were these: Dishon and Olihavama, the daughter of Ana. And these are the children of Dishon: Hemdan, Eshban, and Yithran, and Sharon. The children of Etzer are these: Bilhan and Zaavan, and Akian. The children of Dishon are these: Uts and Aran. These are the dukes that came of Chorim: Duke Loden, Duke Shovan, Duke Tisavan, Duke Anah, Duke Dishon, Duke Etzer, Duke Dishon. These are the dukes that came of Chori among the dukes in the land of Sahar. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned any king over the children of Yasharel. And Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom. And the name of his city was Dinhalah. And Bela died, and Yovab, the son of Zerach of Batsra, reigned in his stead. And Yovab died, and Shusham in the land of Taimani reigned in his stead. And Shusham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the land of Moab, reigned in his stead. And the name of the city was Avith. And Hadad died, and Salam of Masrekah reigned in his stead. And Samlah died, and Shaul of Rechovoth by the river reigned in his stead. And Shaul died, and Baal Shanah, the son of Akbor, reigned in his stead. And Baal Shanan, the son of Akbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. And the name of the city was Peu, and his woman's name was Mehe Tavel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Me Zahav. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau, according to their families, after their places, by their names: Duke Timnah, Duke Aliah, Duke Zithith, Duke Olihavama, Duke Elah, Duke Hainan, Duke Keniz, Duke Taman, Duke Mitzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Iron. These are the dukes of Edom, according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's woman. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Yasharel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was a son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and they could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaf stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said to him, Shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to you, to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Yasharal said unto El Yosef, do not your brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send you unto them. And he said to him, here I am. And he said to him, go, I pray you, see whether it be well with your brethren and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the valley of Chevron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what do you seek? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray you, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, sure, some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of his hands, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to their father again. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelim came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, the Ishmaelites. And Yehuda said unto his brethren Judah, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelim, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then there passed by merchantmen. Why does my nose always itch when I get on here? And they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelim for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Mitzrayim, Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes, and he returned not unto his brethren. And he returned unto his brethren, and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat, and killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father, and said, this have you found. Know now whether it be your son's coat or no. And he knew it, and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. Hey, Mom. Oh, no wonder my nose was itching. And Yaakov rent his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, and refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into Sheol unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midian sold him unto Mitzrayim, unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, and company, and captain of the guard. And it came to pass at that time that Judah, went down from his brethren, and turned into a certain Adullamai, whose name was Shirah. And Yehuda saw there a daughter of a certain Canaan, whose name was Shuach. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name She conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bore a son, and called his name Shelach. And he was at Kiziev when she bore him. And Yehuda took a woman for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Yehuda's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah slew him. And Yehuda said, unto Onan, go in unto your brother's woman, and marry her, and raise up seed to your brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's woman, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased Yahuwah, wherefore he slew him also. Then said Yehuda to Tamar his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at your father's house, till Shelach my son be grown. For he said, lest perchance he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in presence of time, the daughter of Shuab, Jehuda's woman, died, and Yehuda was comforted, and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Shivrath the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, your father-in-law goes up to Timnath to shear his sheep. She put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which is by the way of Timnath. For she saw that Shelach was grown, and she was not given unto him to be his woman. When Yehuda saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, go to, I pray you, let me come in unto you. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what will you give me, that you may come in unto me? And he said, I will send you a kid from the flock. And she said, will you give me a pledge till you send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give you? And she said, your signet, and your bracelets, and your staff that is in your hand. And he gave it her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Yehuda sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adulamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. And he returned to El Yehuda and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Yehuda said, let her take it to her, lest we be ashamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and you have not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Yehuda, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Yehuda said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child. And she said, discern, I pray you, whose are these, the signet, the bracelets, and the staff? And Yehuda acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelach my son. And he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand that, behold, his brother came out. And she said, how have you broken forth? This breach be upon you. Therefore his name was called Peretz. And afterward came out his brother, and that scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was Zerach. 39. Or let me write a note that Yehuda or Judah had a staff. It's verse 18 of 38. Okay. 39. And Joseph was brought down to Mitzrayim, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard in Mitzrayim, brought him of the hands of the Yishamelim, which had brought him down thither. And Yehuda, which was with Joseph, and Yahuwah was with Joseph. And he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his Adonai, the Mitzrayim. And his Adonai saw that Yahuwah was with him, and that Yahuwah made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put in his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all he had, that Yahuwah blessed the Mitzray's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of Yahuwah was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things, that his Adonai's woman cast her eyes upon El Yosef, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused and said unto the woman of his Adonai, Behold, my Adonai knows not what it is with me in this house, and he committed all that he had to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his woman. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against Elohim? And it came to pass, as she spoke to El Yosef day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled, and got him out. And it came to pass when she saw, I'm sorry, I just think that's so funny. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garments in her hand and was fled forth, that she called upon the men of her house and spoke unto them, saying, See, he has brought in an ivory unto us, a Hebrew unto us, to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she said, Up his garment by her. Oh, I'm sorry. And she laid up his garment by her until his Adonai came home. And she spoke unto him according to these words, saying, The ivory servant which you have brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass when his Adonai heard the words of his woman, which she spoke unto him, saying, After this manner did your servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's Adonai took him and put him in the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But Yahuwah was with Joseph, and showed him mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatsoever they did in the prison, he was a doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because Yahuwah was with him, and that which he did, Yahuwah made it to prosper. 40. And it came to pass, after these things, that the butler of the king of Mitzrayim and his baker had offended their Adonai, the king of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh was wroth with two of his officers against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. And he put them in the ward in the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued a season in the ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. The butler and the baker of the king of Mitzrayim, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Adonai's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to Elohim? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the cluster thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head and restore you unto your place, and you shall deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when you were his butler. But think on me when it shall be with you, and show kindness, I pray you, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of Ivorim, and here also I have done nothing that should put me in the dungeon. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto El Yosef, I was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the uttermost and in the uppermost basket there was all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head from off you, and shall hang you on a tree, and the birds shall eat your flesh from off you. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him. Okay. 41. So this is actually the reader for today. I forgot yesterday, so I'll help you behind today. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the river, the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh woke, and he slept and dreamed the 2nd time. And behold, 7 ears of grain came up on one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full years. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his ruach was troubled, his spirit. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, and there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in the ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream, and one night, I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man in ivory, a servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man, according to his dream, he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him out hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto El Yosef, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of you that you can understand a dream and interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. Elohim shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto El Yosef, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I have never saw in the land of Mitzrayim for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in a dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. just a moment. I'm writing down, it was 21, that even after the 7 years, it was grim. Because even after the lean had eaten the fat kind, you could not tell that they were nourished. They still looked as they did before. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Elohim has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Elohim is about to do he shows unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. All the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Mitzrayim, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because a thing is established by Elohim, and Elohim will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Mitzrayim in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay it grain under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them guard food in the cities. And that food shall be for the store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Mitzrayim, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such as one as this, a man in whom the Ruach Elohim is? It is the Holy Spirit, or the Spirit of Elohim. And Pharaoh said unto El Yosef, forasmuch as Elohim has showed you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you are. You shall be overseer, you shall be over my house, and according to your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto El Yosef, see, I have set you over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it on Yosef's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh said unto El Yosef, I am Pharaoh, and without you shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in all the land of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh called Yosef's name Tisonahath Paneach, and he gave him to be his woman Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Yosef went out over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yosef was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim. And Yosef went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Mitzrayim, and laid up the food in the cities. And the food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Yosef gathered grain as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Elohim said he has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Elohim has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteous that was in the land of Mitzrayim were ended, and the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the famine was in all lands, but in the land of Mitzrayim there was bread. And when all the land of Mitzrayim was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Mitzrayim, go unto El Yosef, what he says to you, do. And the famine was over all the earth, all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Mitzrayim. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Mitzrayim. And all countries came into Mitzrayim to El Yosef for to buy grain, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. 42. Now when Yaakov saw that there was grain in Mitzrayim, as Jacob, Yaakov said unto his sons, or Israel, why do you look upon one another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is grain in Mitzrayim. Get you up, get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy grain in Mitzrayim. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Yaakov, sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest perchance mischief befall him. And the sons of Yasharel came to buy grain among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but he made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan, to buy food. But Joseph saw his brethren, but they knew not him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, nay, my Adonai, but to buy food are your servants come. We are all one man's son, we are true men, your servants are no spies. And he said unto them, nay, but to see the nakedness of the land are ye come. And they said, your servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, that is it that I spoke unto you, saying, ye are spies. Hereby ye have show proofs by the life of Pharaoh, ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else, but the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. And he put them all together into the war 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day, this do and live, for I fear Elohim. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry grain for the famine of your houses, but bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, we are truly guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. And Reuel then answered them, saying, spoke I not unto you, saying, do not sin against this child? And ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spoke unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself from about them, and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Shimeon, and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with grain, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they ladded their asses with the grain, and departed thence. As one of them opened his sacks to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is it that Elohim has done unto us? And they came unto El Yaakov their father, unto the land of Canaan, and told him, and all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the Adonai of the land spoke roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is to stay with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Adonai of my country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that you are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you, your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Yaakov their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Shimeon is not, and you will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, Slay my two sons, if I bring not to you, deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to you again. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in the which you go, then shall you bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to Sheol. So we're up to 43, and the assignment for today is Genesis 40 through Genesis 50 and 26. And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten of the grain which they had brought out of Mitzrayim, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Yehudah spoke unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Yasharel said, Wherefore dwelt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether you had yet a brother? And they said, The man asked us straightly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have you another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he was saying, Bring your brother down? And Yehudah said unto El Yasharel, his brother, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I will be surety for him. Of my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For except we had lingered, surely now we have returned the second time. And their brother Yasharel said unto them, and their father Yasharel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spices, and myrrh, nuts, and almonds. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks. Carry it again in your hand, perchance it was an oversight. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. And El Shaddai give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your older brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand. And Benjamin rose up and went down to Mitzrayim, and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, Bring these men home, and slay, and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondsmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they were communed with him at the door of the house, and said, O sir, we came indeed at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass when we came to the end that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of our sack. Our money was in the mouth of our sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money we have brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he said, Peace be to you, fear not. Your Elohim and the Elohim of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Shimeon out to them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. And they made ready the present against Joseph, came at noon, for they had heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he yet alive? And they answered, Your servant, our father, is in good health. He is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your younger brother of whom you spoke unto me? And he said, Elohim be gracious unto you, my son. And Joseph made haste, for his heart did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep. And he entered into his chamber and wept there. And he washed his face and went out and reframed himself and set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Mitzrayim which they did eat with him by themselves, because the Mitzrayim might not eat bread with the Ephraim, for that it was an abomination unto the Mitzrayim. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. "44. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. And put my cup, the silver cup, in my sack's mouth, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his grain money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, Up, follow after the men, and when you do overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? Is not this it in which my Adonai drinks? And whereby indeed he divines, ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these same words. And they said unto him, Wherefore says my Adonai these words? Far be it that your servants should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we have found in our sacks we brought again unto you out of the land of Canaan. How then do we steal out of Adonai's house silver or gold? With whosoever of your servants it be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Adonai's bondmen. And he said, Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. Then they speedily took down every man's sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they rent their clothes, and ladded every man his ass, and returned to the city. And Yehuda and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there. And they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? And Yehuda said, What shall we say unto my Adonai? What shall we speak, or how shall we be clear ourselves? Elohim has found out the iniquity of our servants. Behold, we are my Adonai's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. And he said, Far be it that I should do so, but the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant. And as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. Then Yehuda came near unto him and said, O my Adonai, let your servant, I pray you, speak a word in my Adonai's ear, and let not your anger burn against your servant, but you are even as Pharaoh. My Adonai asked his servant, saying, How ye a father or a brother? And we said unto El Adonai, We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he left alone is left of his mother, and his father loves him. And you said unto your servants, Bring him down unto me, that I may set my eyes upon him. And we said unto El Adonai, The lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. And you said unto your servants, Except your youngest brother come down with you, ye shall see my face no more. And it came to pass, when he came up unto your servant, my father, we told him the words of my Adonai. And our father said, Go again and buy us a little food. And we said, We cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then will we go down, for we may not see the man's face, except our younger brother be with us. And your servant, my father, said unto us, He know that my woman bore me 2 sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, Surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. And if ye take this also from me, and mischief befall him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to Sheol. Now therefore, when I come to your servant, my father, and the lad be not with us, Seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it shall come to pass when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And your servant shall bring down the gray hairs of your servant, our father, with sorrow to Sheol. Hey, TT, thank you. I hope I'm not reading it too late. For your servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, If I bring not unto you, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. Now therefore I pray you, let your servant abide instead of the lad, a bondsman to my Adonai, and let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me? Lest perchance I see the evil that shall come on my father. Then Joseph could not refrain himself. 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, Cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Mitzrayim in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, does my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom you sold into Mitzrayim. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourself, that you sold me thither. For Elohim did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years has a famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall be nothing to eat nor harvest. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it is not you that sent me hither, but Elohim, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and Adam of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Mizraim. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus says your son Joseph, Elohim has made me Adonai of all Mizraim. Come down unto me, tarry not, and you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and all shall be near unto me, you and your children, and your children's children, and your flocks, and your herds, and all that you have. And there will I nourish you, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest you and your household, and all that you have, come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all the glory in Mizraim, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring my father hither. And he fell upon his brother, Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them. And after this, his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto your brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go, get you unto the land of Canaan, and take our father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Mizraim, and you shall eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded, this do ye, take you wagons out of the land of Mizraim for your little ones and for your women, and bring your father and come. Also regard not your stuff, for the goods of all the land of Mizraim is yours. And the children of Yasharel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandments of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. To all them he gave each man changes of raiment, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver, and 5 changes of raiment. And to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses laden with the goods of Mizraim, and 10 she-asses laden with grain and bread and meat for his father by the way. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that you fall not out by the way. And they went up out of Mizraim, and came into the land of Canaan, unto Yaakov their father. Sorry, I have to turn my alarm off. It's going to go off at 9. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed, and said unto them, See that ye not fall out by the way. And they went up out of Mitzrayim and came into the land of Canaan unto El Yaakov their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yaakov's heart fainted, for he believed them not. And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the Ruach of Yaakov their father revived the spirit. And Yasharel said, It is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die. Okay, 46. Let me take a sip. And Yasharel took his journey and all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the Elohim of his father Yashak. And Elohim spoke unto Yasharel in the visions of the night, and said, Yaakov, Yaakov. And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am El, the Elohai of your father. Fear not to go down unto Mitzrayim, for I will there make of you a great nation. I will go down with you unto Mitzrayim, and I will surely bring you up again. And Joseph shall put his hand upon your eyes. And Yaakov rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Yasharel carried Yaakov their father, and their little ones, and their women, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came unto Mitzrayim. Yaakov and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him unto Mitzrayim. And these are the names of the children of Yasharel, which came unto Mitzrayim, Yaakov and his sons, Reuben, Yaakov's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Shanak, and Palu, and Shetzron, and Carmi, and the sons of Shimeon, Umiel, Yamin, and Ohad, Yakin, and Tosashar, and Shaul, the son of Canaanite women, and the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, Merari, and the sons of Yehuda, Onan, Shelach, and Peretz, and Zarach. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Peretz were Shetzron and Shemul. And the sons of Yishakar, Tola, Puah, Yov, and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun, Sered, Elon, and Yahliel. These are the sons of Leah, which she bore unto Yaakov in Padan Aram, and the daughter Dinah. And all the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. And the sons of Gad, Tisaphan, and Shagai, and Shuni, and Etzban, and Eri, and Arajai, and Arieli. And the sons of Asher, Yimnah, and Yishva, and Yishvi, and Beriah, and Sarach, their daughter. And the sons of Beriach, Shevar, and Maliel. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Lamar bore to Leah, his daughter. And these she bore unto Yaakov, even 16 souls. And the sons of Rachel, Yaakov's women, Joseph and Benjamin. And unto Joseph in the land of Mitzrayim were born Manasseh and Ephraim, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore unto him. And the sons of Benjamin were Bela, Bekar, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ekyath, Rosh, Nunpiam, Shupiam, and Ard. These are the sons of Rachel, which were born to Yaakov. All the souls were 14. And the sons of Dan, Chushimim, and the sons of Naphtali, Yaschisiel, Gunian, Yetzer, and Shilem. And these are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel's daughter, and she bore these unto Yaakov. And the souls were 7. And the souls that came with Yaakov unto Mitzrayim, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' women, all the souls were 66. And the sons of Joseph, which were born unto him in Mitzrayim, were 2 souls. And the souls of the house of Yaakov, which came into Mitzrayim, were 70. And he sent Yehuda before him unto El Joseph to direct his face unto Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet Yasharel, his father. And he fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while. And Yashrael said unto El Yosef, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, because you are yet alive. And Yosef said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, and come unto me. And the men are shepherds, for their trade has been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you and shall say, What is your occupation? That you shall say, Your servants' trades have been about cattle from our youth even unto now, both we and our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Mitzrayim. Let's see, 47. Oh, my mouth today. Oh, so getting to 50 is actually to the end of the chapter. I'm going to go ahead and read it to 48, and then I'll leave 48, 49, and 50 for everyone to read. So 47. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, both we and our fathers. And they said moreover unto Pharaoh, For to sojourn in the land we are come, for your servants have no pasture for their flocks. For the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, we pray you, let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spoke unto El Yosef, saying, Your father and your brethren are come unto you. The land of Mitzrayim is before you. In the best of the land make your father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen let them dwell. And if you know any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Yaakov his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Yaakov blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto El Yaakov, How old are you? And Yaakov said unto Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of my life of my fathers in the land of pilgrimage. Few and evil are his days. I don't remember that. Few and evil have Israel's days been. And Yaakov blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren, and gave them a possession in the land of Mitzrayim, in the best of the land, in the land of Ra-amek, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Mitzrayim and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that had been found in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan, and for the grain which they had bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Mitzrayim and in the land of Canaan, all the Mitzrayim came unto El Yosef and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money fails. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle, if money fail. And they bought their cattle unto El Yosef, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and in the cattle of the herds, and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. And when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my Adonai, how that our money is spent. My Adonai also has our herds of cattle, that there is aught left out of the sight of my Adonai, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Mitzrayim of Pharaoh, for the Mitzrayim sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them, so that the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Mitzrayim even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have brought you this day and your land of Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land, and it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and the fourth part shall be your own for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food of your little ones. And they said, You have saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of Adonai, and we will be Pharaoh's servant. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Mitzrayim unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh's. And Yasharel dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years, so the whole age of Yaakov was 147 years. And the time drew near that Yasharel must die, and he called his sons Joseph, and he said unto them, If now I have found grace in your sight, but put, I pray you, your hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray you, in Mitzrayim, but I will lie with my fathers, and you shall carry me out of Mitzrayim, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as you have said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he swore unto him. And Yasharel bowed himself upon the bed's head. So he did as his father did. Jacob or Israel did as Isaac did. And he blessed his son, and he put his hand under his thigh. Okay, so I'm done reading for today. If you want to do the challenge, you'll read to the end of Genesis. So it's 48, 49, and 50, which is not much. It's less than 4 pages. But I think it's important that I'm reading so much about the famine and how the money failed. And so I just want to give an encouragement also to keep preparing, and don't think that days will always be great, because hard times are coming. It's prophesied, and hopefully you'll do it now instead of regretting it later. So thank you, TT, for joining. If you're still here, thank you for everyone who did join, and I hope that you guys have a great morning and be blessed.